Good morning. It's a Saturday. Nope, it's Sunday. It's Sunday, maybe like mid to late July. I don't know the number of today, but I woke up at like 3 because I'd fallen asleep real early last night and couldn't sleep, so made waffles, laid around, did some stretching, and then as soon as it was light enough, I came out and pruned the hedge, pruned a lot of stuff, watered everything, made second breakfast, and it's like 8:30, so I've had a pretty good day so far. The fennel is just doing really great. I honestly could just stand here for 15 minutes and watch all of the pollinators come through. But lots of other things to show off too. Our yarrow patch is doing very, very well. Been coming out every couple of days and just harvesting more flowers, more leaves. I really love the yarrow. You know who else loves the yarrow? The slugs. A very healthy slug population right now. The chard is doing great. We've gotten a couple of tomatoes. Started picking off the potatoes. Got the oregano is blooming. The lettuce is going to seed. This volunteer squash is doing very well. I started building a little tiny trellis. It goes about up to my knees. What? Yes, Mona. What kind of squash do you think this is? My bet is it kind of looks like a pumpkin that isn't orange yet. But I've never grown pumpkins, so yes, I know, you're a good kitty. Anyways, this squash, this is all one plant. It comes around here, around the tomatoes, and then all the way over here by where we've got our carrots going to seed. Some pretty nice blooms. So big. It's taking over half the sidewalk, and I'm okay with that. Let's see. So, because everything's kind of going to seed, some of the pathways are a little. We'll just squeeze in here. Get back here. Let's see. Alright. We've got some of these guys. And some of these guys. I think this is a red cootie. And this is an exciting thing I discovered this morning while I was pruning the hedge. Was that I'm pretty sure this is millet. Yeah. This is Japanese millet. I'm 90% sure. We also planted sorghum, but I think this was the spot we planted millet in. Anyways, the seed pods, just, I swear to God, they were not here yesterday, but today, there are seed pods, which is exciting. And very nice to look at. We've got, these are black beans from Winco, or sprouts or something, and they're blooming, so that's exciting. We've got a Kale Memorial Mountain covered in corn. This is popcorn. It's all kind of fallen over, but it's first year. Hugel Mountain's pretty soft. And there's still a lot of settling happening. So we've got some tomatillos that are starting to make tomatillos, which is exciting. This orac is about 7 feet high, and it's starting to. It's been delicious to eat, and it's making seed pods. So this will be something I'll be seed saving in the next little bit. Okay, I think that's all the highlights I want to do from this area. Literally just me, the fennel, and all the little tiny bees hang out all day. Super nice. Alright. I want to get done over here before it gets too hot. This is all borage at this point, and dill. I'm just letting it go to seed. Not really sure what we're going to do after this, but that's okay. The amaranth is also making very lovely. The seeds are starting to, it's maybe too bright to focus good, but the seeds are growing and they're all getting a little bit heavy. Underneath we've got some stuff, basil, cabbages. I'll come around. Lots and lots of kale. Got some really bushy radishes. Little favorite squash back here. Little Mr. Two Color. Still doing good. We might get a second squash. Out of that one. And then Sage planted some goldenrod yesterday, which I'm very delighted to see, and it honestly looks like it's always been here in the yarrow patch. So that's a plant I'm really delighted to make friends with and hang out with. Okay, backyard. Well, not much to see over here. Everything's pretty much gotten eaten by grasshoppers, but we have managed to get some corn going and got some more amaranth, a couple of bean plants that haven't been totally murdered, and like two lemon balms. So it's something. And you know, for the part of the yard where we keep our trash cans, it's just been an experiment to see if anything will grow. Okay. Salad bar. We've harvested a lot of arugula from spring. It has reseeded itself. So I guess we're gonna just have arugula here again. Saves me the trouble of having to figure out what to plant here next. We've got lettuce going to seed. Nettles are doing great. More yarrow. Not really sure what this plant is. Honestly, it kind of looks like a butternut squash and a zucchini had a baby. So that's my guess. And I'm not going to try and go in here because the sunflowers are falling over. But we've got more squashes of different kinds. And some more millet. And some kale from last year. It's all doing pretty okay. I planted a lot of beans in this area, and I have maybe like 2 beans that have not died. And aside from the like black bean patch in the front, this I'm pretty sure is a scarlet runner bean. Not an ideal place because it's just to the north of our pear tree, but it's still doing the thing. It has climbed up to the top of this pole, and I guess I'll have to get a taller pole. What else? Okay, so this morning I pruned the privet hedge at the east of the house, and I got this many sticks out of it. I pruned the hedge last year in a way that would make it easy to get super long, nice, straight, slender stems a year later. And so it's really exciting to have harvested this many. I'm going to strip all of the leaves off of the stems, and then I'm going to use the stems for basket weaving. So that's it. That's the rest of my week, basically. Kiddie pool of privet hedge branches. Okay, so the Azola's doing great. It's been doing really well. I was at 5 buckets earlier this week, but I poured one of them in over a couple of days into the chestnuts, which have been struggling a little bit. It's been very hot. I think they're probably just heat stressed. But again, we've also had grasshoppers and literally every other bug on the planet, so hard to say what is and isn't grasshopper damage, because we also have slugs, snails, thrips, aphids, weevils. I haven't seen any weevils. But they're tough babies and they'll pull through. But again, they've gotten some chomps on them. I think that's everything. This is a calendula in a chestnut pot. I think if I plant them again next year, and I can't plant them directly in the ground after they stratify, I think this like open bottom shopping basket is a lot better than a pot, because I don't know, something about air pruning just seems like all of the ones that I've grown in pots have not done super well. This is sweet potato and the potato bucket. Got more potatoes. I just deep watered everything this morning so it all looks super great. Got all the herbs doing well. All the tiny elders still hanging in there. Buckwheat patch, we've got more. We planted a mix here a week ago of like the things I had at the bottom of the seed bowl, and I didn't feel like sorting it out. So this is either kale or arugula, and it honestly doesn't matter because I'm gonna eat it all. Okay. Yeah, kale's still happening. The lighting's a little weird right now, so I'm gonna come over here and get in the shade so you can see what I think are red cabbages. I thought they might be purple tree collards, but I was looking at pictures of them on the internet, and I think that this might be a tree collard and it's just not purple. And then these I'm like pretty sure are gonna start making little tiny heads in there. So got some cabbages coming in, which is cool. Never grown cabbage before. Got lots of borage, mint, and more oak leaf lettuce that I'm letting go to seed. I'm never buying seeds again, hopefully. Back here we got a couple of potato, tomato, kale plants. Nice. Looks like I'll let these dry out, but I'll pick them later today. We got some calendula seed already, which was great. I've been saving seed like it's my second full-time job. Just leave that. I've been folding seed packets out of extra paper from work and realizing that you can save seed from just about anything. The lighting over here is kind of weird right now, but mostly this is all calendula or alfalfa and a couple of potato plants. Got a couple of blue Hokkaido squash, and I put a bunch of beans in earlier, but again, they've all just gotten pretty decimated, so that's fine. Squash are cute. The rosemary's doing super well. And we might get a couple bean plants hang in there. It's just if they get their leaves eaten before they manage to make a second set, it's just really difficult for them to not die. We harvested a bunch of potatoes from this area last week and have planted peas, and at some point I'm going to have to make a trellis, but we've got this old metal structure, laundry line thing maybe, and I think it'll be great because it's even got a little, like, about every 12 inches a place where I could put in some twine or wire or something, and then just run it down to the ground. So that's next project number 563. This is all kale from last year that I'm still letting go to seed, and it's really exciting because most of them have made a good first batch of seed, and some of them are falling over, but then we've had all of this new growth from the main stem on some side branches. So that's pretty cool because I didn't know that they could just keep making big leaves for eating. These are yellow beets just coming in, and you can see over here we got some more of that secondary flush of good lacinato leaves. So that's pretty much the back. It's really, really bright and hot back here, but made a little trash trellis for this volunteer squash and harvested all of the flax out of this area, so now it's just a couple of looks like we got a couple for breakfast. Chocolate sprinkles, real cute little, oh, so many today. This is great. This is really grape. Okay, this is maybe my biggest tomato harvest yet. Chocolate sprinkles are a cherry tomato. They're green striped. They do kind of crack pretty easily, but they're real tasty, and I'm seed saving those too. Is gonna try maybe growing tomatoes from seed next year. Got basil down here, a little cardboard shade structure, and then the rest of this morning I was ripping out Virginia creeper and ailanthus trees so that we can have space. For these cute guys, we got zinnias, calendula, California poppy, and there's always gonna be more. Tree of heaven, yeah, right, more like tree of heck. And over here in Sage's bed, looks like we should go harvest some of these basil seeds, but maybe later today when the sun is not intensely hitting me in the body. We have way too much chard. Please come eat our chard. Please send help. I might try dehydrating some of it just so that because it's just so thick and big, which is great, but we maybe could have planted some other things besides chard this year. And then the calendula have just been such a delight to look at every morning, and they've been so plentiful, and we've been picking a lot of them for tea, and gosh, they're really just luminous beans. Been making it, started at a tincture, and we've also got some drying for salves. And that brings us back around to the front. I cleared out this whole area. Ailanthus mostly. There's also a rose bush that I'll get in there later today or another time when it's less terribly hot. So here's the privet hedge over here in the shade. So I missed a couple pieces, but it's pretty even. Comfrey's getting big, although whatever's, our critters have weird taste. They will eat comfrey and nettles, and won't eat kale, so I mean, at least this is a plant that you can chop down multiple times a year and it'll still regrow from the base. So at least we got that going. Okay, well, I think 20 minutes is probably long enough. Thanks for dropping in. So cool.